All right, welcome on back, everyone, to this episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bringing you the first council sorter patch issue from all councils in Scouting America, both past and present. Today, we turn our attention to Mecklenburg County 415. Mecklenburg was originally a name change in 1942 from Charlotte 415 and is presently an active council in Scouting America. Some of you might recall that in episode 22 of First CSP, we had a trivia question of what council started off with their first issue having either BSA or a fleur-de-lis, and then in a subsequent issue actually took it off, which is kind of reverses the trend we see most frequently for First CSPs, and Mecklenburg is the answer. So here we have the S1 for Mecklenburg, defined by its yellow border, white background. We've got a red BSA down here in the corner, a yellow fleur-de-lis there towards the center, and it says in black, Charlotte NC along the bottom. This is a more difficult patch to locate. We don't see this one quite as frequently. It is listed as an error, and you can see for some reason it just, against the white, the thread connections there kind of make it look a little sloppy. I don't think that's what the error is. I think the error is regarding Charlotte NC on the bottom. You'll see that in the S2 they moved to kind of a cleaner, streamlined look, just saying North Carolina along the bottom. But we do see that this one started off with BSA, and then in the second issue, to kind of just on account of space, I think in part, we'll clean things up and just list North Carolina along the bottom. So they did reverse the trend of adding BSA or a fleur-de-lis. They basically took off the BSA, which is a little bit of a change from what we generally see. So that is the first issue. Now let's take a look at what they followed it up with. The same imagery there towards the center. First one actually had a little bit cleaner with the scroll that was present and the number of 1915 around the fleur-de-lis. It's a little bit harder to read, but we do see we've got our yellow border, white background. Here now we've got a dark yellow fleur-de-lis, and the lettering is in black, listing Mecklenburg County Council, North Carolina. So they drop off the red BSA, and it's unclear to me if the red BSA is what they're deciding was an error in the first issue, or if it just says Charlotte NC along the bottom being the difference there. But we do get somewhat of a cleaner patch here for the S2 for Mecklenburg County. I'll put both of these up here on the table so we can see them in comparison and contrast. Both still really clean patches, but the first CSP, that S1 from Mecklenburg, is one that you don't find as often. It is a little bit harder to track down. I just noticed I guess that's a hornet's nest. It's very present, I think, in the Associated OA Lodge. And then there have been some CSPs, I think, where it's centered super, like it is the focal point. Is the hornet's nest, which is pretty wild, that we see there at the center on the bottom. But that is Mecklenburg. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't. We're almost to 40. I would love to get to 50 or 100 subscribers. That would be a big milestone for this channel. If you know someone that might enjoy these videos and isn't subscribed, send it their way. Say, help the channel out and hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot for us to be able to continue to share this content with others. But with that, I want to thank you guys for being here and watching the video, and I hope to see you tomorrow on the next episode.